Oh, I'm just looking how these ornaments are gonna look like on this tree. Because I'm gonna start an ornament business one day.
Oh, you're gonna start an ornament business?
Yeah.
I would do it too.
Really?
I would drop out of school to start my ornament business.
Why?
Because my mom told me that it's better to start up at a teenager age.
Okay, Ruth, but do you really think that the best time to start a business is while you were a teenager?
Yes, there are a lot of companies that making a lot of money. They started by teenagers. Here is some example. Nanny's design of 16, the Bombast pieces, 15 and 16, Subway 17.
Huh? What up, guys? It's your Gemini teacher, Miss Gloria Anga, and I'm here to teach you how to make good decisions and good judgment for the rest of your life. In this episode, we're going to be talking about uncommon events. Why? Because just the way that our brain works, we think that uncommon events are more common than they actually are, and two, we let uncommon events have too much influence on our decisions. Whether it applies to our, why does this happen? Why do we let uncommon events have influence on the decisions? Three main reasons. One, cognitive ease. The easier it is for us to bring in examples of those uncommon events in our mind, the more certain we are that those uncommon events are going to happen. Basically, the more that we can bring up examples of uncommon events, the more that it becomes uncommon, the more common it becomes in our mind. Number two, it has to do with focused attention. If we focus our attention on uncommon events, then we think that those uncommon events are more common. And number three is confirmation bias. We look to find evidence, to find examples that already affirm the belief or whatever we already think, whatever already judgment we already had on something. The way that this explains in our example is the fact that Ruth was able to quickly come up with three examples of successful businesses that were started by teenagers. That explains the cognitive ease, and that also explains confirmation bias, because she already had the belief that the best time to start a business was when you're a teenager, and she looked for examples of good businesses that were started by teenagers as a way to confirm her belief. And third was focused attention. She spent her attention focusing on the examples of businesses that had good outcomes, that were successful and were started by teenagers. And because she had that focused attention, that's why she had that belief. And that's why she thought that those uncommon events, the common event of a successful business that started by a teenager, was common, and why she decided that she was going to make a business when she was a teenager, because she let the uncommon event influence her belief. But lucky for you guys, we have a way to overcome this. There is a way to finesse your way around this way that our mind works. And that is, you match the common event and with the weight that you're going to let it influence your decision. So if there's a 10% chance that an event is going to happen, then you let that event have a 10% weight in the influence on your final decision. So for example, in our example, Gloria, she found that business incubators allow that startups that go through business incubators have an 80% success rate. So there's an 80% chance that a business that goes through a business incubator will have an 80% success rate. So she let that fact have the fact that the majority, the 80% of businesses that go through an incubator are successful, have an 80% influence on whether she was going to decide to let her own business, her ornament business, go through a business incubator. So you do that same thing. You match the likelihood of an event with the influence that you're going to let it have on your decision. If you do that, you're going to make better decisions. Your Gemini teacher, Ms. Gloria Anga, signing off.